Okay. So yeah, thank you so much, Tracy, for coming to my interview. So as you know, like I have a YouTube channel, which is Guru's Library, and I used to do book review, reading, and information related stuff. So thank you so much for coming. And today we will talk about a lot of things. I think reading is the best therapy that I believe, and I think many people they used to do it. Uh, but yeah, in today's video, we will discuss how do you think uh, reading and other activities is good for well-being. So first, I would like you to introduce yourself. So maybe we can start with that. And yeah, going forward, we can talk about it. Yep. Over to you.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for inviting me on. So I'm Grace and I am based in Germany, but I'm from England and I'm a self-help author, amongst other things, well-being coach, kindergarten teacher, and yoga teacher. But in my personal life, I also aim to always find balance each and every day, which I notice many people struggle with. So yeah, I'm always here to kind of share my tools in order to help people grow and find their peace within and access it, because in our modern world there's a lot of noise, and I find the key in noticing where your peace is always coming within, finding your stillness and being able to blur out the noise that's around us.
Interesting, interesting. So if we talk about Gracie, so it's let's say for example, right now how technology is evolving and our day-to-day activity is being recorded. Like even if we are going for any kind of sports, so people try to use stopwatch, and they try to depend a lot of time on technology, how their speeds are getting recorded, how their movements are getting recorded, and also after getting introduced by the artificial intelligence. So, how do you
Mm-hmm.
think in this scenario people can actually practice well-being in a way so that this connection with, or I can say the obsession of depending on technology will be reduced? So, anything that you can share your experience, or you have like if you have observed something, so if you can comment on that or
Sure.
share your experience. Yep.
Yeah, so it's funny you bring technology into it, because at first, with the uprising of it, like in so many ways in our life, as you say, we want to use it to control our lives or maybe also like spur us on in a good direction. And at first, I was a bit like, oh, icky, especially with like ChatGPT and AI. And now I'm embracing it. Like, I feel ChatGPT has become a friend and actually helps me to kind of refine my words sometimes online or in my articles, in my newsletter, or in my structure of a new course that I'm bringing out in my community. And I'm embracing it now more than ever. However, I do see obviously there's a negative downfall in it, because I feel we become dependent on it. And that's what I would like to raise, like I am not dependent on ChatGPT and telling me everything, or let's say, writing my articles for me or social media posts. I don't want to get to that point. However, I do see it as a great way that it can enhance us. Like you just said about people using it for maybe fitness or movement and stuff like that. I think it's great. I see it as a support system, and we can use it to our benefit. And I think that is probably the mindset that I would spur people on to have, and not rather depend on it in every way of life, because you're a human being at the end of the day. You're not a robot.
Yeah, that's really great recommendation. Actually, there were certain cases that I was actually observing through articles, and recently I completed one interesting book. So the book is Nexus. So there, even I saw that ChatGPT, how he fooled a human to crack that character code, so that captcha code. So because robots cannot read the captcha code, so how chat, like depending on the technology, how it is getting improved, and how fast it is fooling even humans. So I think this training and fast paced in like innovation with the technology is something which is it's very scary. So you are right. We should think and see like how we can enhance these technologies, but also not completely depending on it and just using it as a support system. And how about your daily work? Like in your daily work, I used to watch your a lot of content on Instagram. So you post a lot of well-being stuff related to how to do your work, even journaling. I don't know about a lot of things related to journaling, and because my
Okay.
work is something which is it's very packed, so I don't know if how it helps. So if you can share something about it, like why journaling is important, and if you do it, so how it can be useful, so something about that.
Yeah, it's very interesting you say that you've not yet found it out for yourself because I notice nowadays so many people have, used it as a tool to get to know themselves and to like as a therapy. Essentially, as you know yourself, like pen to paper. There was new studies just last year that come out that pen to paper and like journaling really does enhance the right side of our brain, which is the creative side. And obviously, these days we live in a society where we're more like in the logical side of our brain, and it's kind of about balancing the two out and being able to activate your creative side in order to activate your parasympathetic system so that you can really like de-stress, and combat stress in a way. And so that's a great side of journaling, that you're able to find your creativity, but not just that, speak to your inner child. I don't know if you're familiar with, inner child healing, but it's really the root cause of how you can heal yourself. And so that's why I'm bringing out a self-healing journal where I guide you in, different parts of emotions and how you can tackle them. So, just asking yourself like, how am I feeling and what is this fear that's arising within me causing me? Where is it from? Like, where does this guilt come from? How can I tackle it? Because a lot of the time when we feel emotions, it's like, oh, and you kind of like get back into your shell. Whereas like journaling allows you to dive deep into your emotions, and not just emotions, but states, your character, your personality, your triggers, how you are with people, your communication skills. It can honestly, like, it benefits you in a multitude of ways. And I truly believe that, like, you yourself, like, everyone has an inner healer inside. You just need certain tools that enable you to become bigger and better. So, that's why I love yoga. That's why I love writing and journaling and cooking, all of these great things like going outside in nature. And it's like really about how we can, as human beings, get back to our souls, get back to our foundation of connecting not just online with technology, but connecting with our true selves so that we can truly feel to heal. So, yeah.
That's interesting. So like, do you record everything in your journal, like every day activity, and how much time do you spend on it? Like, is it I mean, something which you plan it out and then you spend, or do you have a particular time for that? And do you record it every day? So is it something which is, like this?
Yeah, like a daily habit. So basically, I've had like an up and down relationship with journaling. I've been journaling for years, like since I can remember, since I can write. I have diaries from like when I was a kid, and journals. Like it's just always been a part of me, but it hasn't in that sense been a part of like a daily thing where I do it all the time. Like I'll turn to it, for example, if I'm feeling more sad or conflicted. Um, but these days I'm turning, that's the great thing about journaling. You can use it in a variety of ways. These days I wake up every morning and I journal to work on my money mindset. So my worth, my value that I'm giving, how I can rewire the way I feel about money as energy, or also rewire the way I feel about myself and all of the, value that I bring to people. So that's how I'm tapping into journaling right now. But as I said, I've tapped into journaling for many reasons in my past. It's kind of crazy. It's like taken me through many phases of my life, and taught me how to accept, let go, and carry on.
Oh, nice. So I think if you have written so many things in your journals, so it can be
I
turned
have
into a book.
hundreds.
I think it can be turned into a book, if I'm right.
Many books,
Oh
like
my.
literally I had to throw away some journals because I when I came to India also,
Mhm.
I wrote a journal every day,
Wow.
more like a diary.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I found it again last year.
So is it like those experiences are from India? Like the things that you wrote in journal when you were in India. So is it something related to that?
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So wow, that is interesting. I mean, if you can turn it into a book, so it will be very really interesting to read.
Yeah, to read that. Yeah, because
Correct.
actually it's funny because my mum bought it for me, like a travel journal. She's like, I know you're gonna have a great time, especially because I did my yoga teacher training there and an internship. I was there, I think, for nearly 3 months. That every day, I think it was at the end of the day, I would just always write what I've learned, what I've been through. And I have to say, it's funny you say that because I would like to read it and see if I could, yeah, put it out there. Why not?
Yeah, that's true. And even I think people will like to read such thing because when uh, like people from different culture, when they try to experience something new or something different, so their perspective is something which people try to listen to. They try to understand like how they uh, how they felt during that time. So I think if we can bring it out, so it would be a great idea. uh, so yeah, let's see. And what about your this book, Chill Out and Cheer Up? So how is it going, or is like how was your experience with that book, and any challenges you're facing? So if you can share about that.
Yeah, sure, gladly.
Hmm.
So I actually self-published in 21. So crazy that it's already so long ago, 4 years ago nearly. And I actually already wrote it at the age of 21. And I just had it on the back burner, just like thinking, oh, one day will come, but news break, the day won't come if you don't plan it and take action. So I wrote it when I lost my best friend and I was in my grieving stage, and I just had a deep fire like within me and burning like to share my words to help other people find their peace, because I'd always tried to help my best friend. And so it was kind of in honor of him and as well as other people that suffer from mental health issues. And then myself, I hadn't up until that point suffered from mental health. So I guess I didn't really know. I was always a happy go lucky kind of person. And then in 2020, I had a mental breakdown and was in the mental clinic. And besides being like, beating myself up and being who knows where in my head, I was quite bored. And within me, it was like, why not now? Why don't you just publish it from the mental clinic? And the way that I wrote, my introduction, I don't know if you remember, just like, I'm here right now, and maybe this is just the right time because I'm being as vulnerable as I can, just to let people know, like, also me, a well-being coach, a yogi, and all of that, I can also suffer, like we're only human beings. And I think that was the perfect opportunity because I felt like I really spoke to people on a level of like a friend and someone that's not judging and understanding, rather, and coming from a place of hurt, but also knowing that there is a light at the end. Although at the time when I'd published it, I had no idea what I was doing. In hindsight, I don't regret anything because I don't think you can kind of go that way with life. But I see it more now as like a way of like, what can I learn from that experience and how can I like now strategically like market my book. That's why I'm bringing out my journal to kind of go hand in hand with it, because it mirrors the chapters. So I don't know if you remember, it's like pressure, fear, doubt, as well as like positive attributes to life, like nature and connection and solitude. And so I basically mirrored each chapter and then just like kind of added prompts to each chapter, as well as saying, oh, turn to this page in my book if you need a bit of like motivation. Because I know a lot of people that journal don't know where to start. They're like, okay, yeah, but I'm not a writer or whatever, right? How do I just journal? So that's why I'm bringing out this journal to like guide you in a way that if you're feeling pressure, you can turn to that page. If you're feeling stressed, you can turn, you know what I mean? Or if you feel like you want to go connect with nature, you can turn to that page and see how it's made you feel. So it's really, yeah, in that sense, it came to me like, oh, this is a good way of bringing my book more to light, but also helping people on a deeper level of finding healing.
Interesting, interesting. And I think uh, this journal thing is something which I would really like to read. Maybe, because I haven't tried it yet. I have read certain I mean, it's with respect to self-help books. So I have read few where people are, writing letters. It is in a form of a letters or something related, but it's not journal. So something related to this type of writing is something which I am much more interested in. So definitely, whenever you will publish, so I would definitely give it a read. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
it's like, for
mm-hmm,
people like yourself that
mm-hmm,
have maybe never really had experience with journaling,
mm-hmm.
or for people that don't really know where to start or like struggle with it, I'm adding on monthly workshops.
Oh,
So I will guide you personally, or like you can come to me with your queries. And in that way, I'm creating a community online. So people that are into journaling,
mm-hmm,
on their healing journey, or like in a transition of like truly, prioritizing themselves, like you say, in our world these
mm-hmm,
days, it's hard. So it's all kind of aligning right now, for me online, because I noticed there is a need,
mm-hmm,
for people to want to be part of something.
mm-hmm,
And, during my group coaching courses over the years,
mm-hmm.
and I do one on one, but I have to say, in a group setting, you exponentially grow because you're like speaking with people,
Correct.
you're learning from one another. So
Mm.
that's why I'm building this community, so that we're always there every month to like go over journaling, let go, and look forward. Yeah, so that is there as well for you.
Yeah, interesting. So you can also share those links with me, so I can put it in the
Yeah,
description so that maybe the viewers, so they can, they can reach out to you in case of, if they want to, join those sessions, be a part of that
sure.
community. So it will be much more helpful for them as well. So yeah.
Yeah,
So the last question which I would like to ask, it's related to how was your India's experience, and any plans to come back again, or anything that you wanted to do in India which it was left out, or maybe it was, something which you hadn't tried earlier. So anything so related to that.
yeah, I mean, there's so much to see in your country. Like, it's so beautiful, and there's just so many, lovely cultures within one country as well, right? Like we've both said to each other before. And I only went to a part of it. I was only in Rishikesh, so the capital of yoga, to train as a yoga teacher, because I thought, what better place than go to the roots? And then to Delhi and Mumbai. But I would love to come back. It's really funny you asked me this, because a friend that I made there, he messaged me last year, and he now offers retreats. Well, he doesn't offer them. He's like the facilitator, so he like does all the background work. And he was like, "Hey, why don't you come, and I'll figure out everything. You just have to teach." And I was like, I've wanted to do a retreat. I mean, I've been practicing yoga for 11 years. I'm a teacher since 6 years. It's about time. So I'm manifesting that hopefully this year or next year. And who knows, maybe it will be in India, because my soul sister that I came to India with and we did our training together, she's also really down to do a retreat with me. And we were like, shall we just go big and just go straight to India and do it? Or so, yeah, that is in the works. And I think the next time I would come to India, it would be to host a retreat. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, sure. That's really a great idea. Even maybe I can see like if there can be something which is, we can actually do that yoga retreat session kind of a thing. So yeah, that can be organized. And I think you have already, you already have a lot of experience in this. So it can be travel yoga session retreat kind of a thing. And many people they do here. So many of my friends they used to go to places like which is in the remote areas or maybe in the mountain areas they try to do
Okay.
there, and it's very pretty, it's very pretty, the locations are pretty and people try to actually participate in those things, so it's a good idea.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even ask your audience, like, where would be your favorite yoga retreat place in India? I would love
Mhm.
to know, like, just to share in the
Sure.
comments, because I
Hmm.
don't know if I would want to go back to the same place, because there's so much to see. I would love to maybe go to the south.
Hmm.
I can imagine there it would be lovely to do like a retreat. But yeah, it would be
Yeah.
interesting to kind of gather some recommendations.
Sure, sure. South is, it's very pretty. Even Northeast India is very pretty. Northeast India is very, that the culture is different, and people are so like it. They are very nice, and it's all green forest and mountains covered with a lot of things.
Oh, I love
So,
that. Yeah, I
so
think
yeah.
if you were to ask me, like, if I prefer the beach or the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
I think I really am a mountainous girl because, like, also mountains and forests because I'm like
Mm-hmm.
near the Black Forest in
Oh.
Germany. And, just like climbing mountains we did in the summer, and it was just so fulfilling, just
Mm-hmm.
getting to the peak and like seeing the beautiful landscape. And also in the Himalayas, I would love to go
Mm-hmm.
to like Nepal or like back to the Himalayas and Rishikesh. It's just, there's something about it. It's just like so stilling and
Mm-hmm.
nurturing for the soul.
True, true.
I get why a lot of monks go to the mountains and just
Yeah,
retreat. Like, I
true.
get it.
True. And even next time when you will come, so definitely I'll recommend you to go very near to the Himalayas. And that's a very pretty location. Many monks, they used to, go there, do meditation, yoga, and everything. So that will be a perfect place for you to, spend some time, have some peace. And obviously, who knows if a yoga retreat can be organized. So yeah, that can be a good option for us. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Gracie. I think I mean this live was something which was pending for a long time, but I think today
Yeah.
we completed it finally. So
Yeah. Nice start to the year.
yeah, thank you so much. Anything you would like to share? Any last uh thoughts or something which you wanted to share? So yeah, please go on.
Yeah, I mean, I think these days, well, I know that these
Mhm.
days a lot of people are suffering.
Mhm.
If it be from stress and anxiety to being a bit lost, not knowing like what they're doing in their lives.
Mhm.
And if you're feeling this way, I just want to say, like, just trust your process. Like, I think we do go through a lot of, like,
Up and down. Yeah.
there, yeah, up and downs, but it's
Yeah.
like the way that you're able to go with your flow.
True.
And
True.
I've really learned that the past decade of my life, like, just trusting in my flow and accepting it as I go. And there's so much space for growth when you do it like that, and that's why I'm here to help you in that sense. Yeah, trust your process and honor it. And
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. Definitely. And I think this is actually very important, even if like people who are matured enough, so they sometimes, they miss out these things to properly balance their uh, work and their personal life. That's how,
Yeah,
these things can be uh, managed if they plan to.
manifested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So any age these days you can suffer,
Hmm.
and it's just to know that you're not in this alone, and that's why I'm making a community, because we aren't alone. Like, that's the great
Sure.
thing about technology. Otherwise, we wouldn't have met, like, there are
True.
so many positives to it.
Hmm.
Like, we can use it for our benefit. And I think
True.
that's just really like how we do it. Yeah.
Sure. I think I'll share your like the links and or whatever the contact details for those description in our in the description box, so that people
Yeah,
can reach out. So that can be a people can actually contact, or maybe they are seeking for certain sessions, or maybe want to be a part of that group. So it can be beneficial for them as well. So yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Thank you so much, Tracy. I think we can connect again, and we will talk about like in the next in our next session we can talk about on some other topics, and yeah, we can
sure.
plan it
I'm
out.
always open. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Lovely
Okay.
chatting. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.